flight it low. At least you would feel that your mistake would be go, you know, too long, which is fine. So you might try this, you know. I'm not sure I like that follow through. That was one of those. He's got away with it.
Just going down a little bit.
Got away with that
Here
very well. That was a little bit of a pull, but it dug in.
Just 2 birdies at 11 as we go to 10.
Stenson. Over to 11.
Yeah, the tester. And Nick, I know players don't like to be reminded, but you know, we see the numbers. We know that this hole's playing nearly like a par 5. Sometimes you don't have that sense out there.
Yeah, well, it's smart to just not wind yourself up if you do make 5 there. Let's watch Hoffman. Where is he going to land this? Got to throw it far enough for safety. Yeah, look. He's gone high. Going to try and use the backstop for safety. Come on, ball. Give it a nudge.
This was perfect. Like an inch from the fringe.
Yeah, that was the way to. That's with the imagination and the skill you have to put together.
But it might run out even a little more. Let's go to 11.
And now the bogey putt. It's not all bad. 9 again.
You had one. If you do miss it short on the right hand side, there is a little, like almost a plateau there. It doesn't tumble way down the middle or on the left side. He's going to chip it up beautifully. He'll be ticklish short coming back.
Sure will.
11 back in the trees.
What sort of shot is available for Woods? Probably with a cut shot. He's got to aim it at the pond.
That's what I was talking about, Frank. You aim and hit the big cut. It's going to come up short, kick off that bank, and you better hope it's got some brakes.
Just over 200 yards, 205 yards to be precise with the flags cut.
Yeah, well, that means it will come in low and pretty fast. So this will be special to get this on the green.
Special it is.
Wow. Fitted that better than a 3-piece suit, didn't he? That one, that was fantastic.
I didn't think that was on. 1 in 4 players being hit in the 11th in regulation.
And they were from the fairway.
Yeah. See what Leishman can do from center cut. And much closer. Yeah, all in all, it mightn't be, oh, it just gets it. That's a good shot.
Turned out pretty good, mate. I didn't quite get it.
Back to the 9th.
Reed.
My goodness.
Wow, what a 9 he just completed.
In these conditions, that was no.
And even with a bogey,
Yeah.
31.
6 birdies. Well, that just wakes everybody else up. It is doable, it is possible, but boy, they all must be shaking their head at that.
Hoffman steps in. Well, it will be a par bid. But Patrick Reed is the story of the afternoon to this point.
I'm sure that's where many thought Jordan Spieth would be at 8 under.
Didn't you think yourself?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
I thought he'd
Or
just
better, maybe.
cruise along. Yeah, he had to. But yeah, the 6-6 start meant he had to clamber back. Right, this to avoid kind of a 2-shot swing. What a great fall. That's what you got to do. You just got to keep doing that all day long.
Stays in a tie for second with Leishman. Stenson, meanwhile, is tied fourth with Spieth and McIlroy.
Well, there's a classic shot to see how brave you are. Do you want to go in the middle of the green and turn it towards the flag, or you just put the fade on it and just keep it in the middle of the green for safety? Downhill right, probably about an A time for Henry. And he pulls it. Oh, big and long, completely got a mystery. Now let's see how he deals with that mentally more than technically.
Well, you heard a little roar. Actually, there's no such thing as a little roar. It's an oxymoron. Here we go. Yeah. This is Jonathan Vegas.
Yeah, 3 over here kind of thing. This is important to him. With the big roar. Yeah. He'll take that. Thank you. I'm here for the weekend.
Yeah, +2. $300 today. Good job, Jonathan Vegas. But Patrick Reed is playing at a level no one else has attained today.
This scientist doesn't believe in luck. She believes in research. It can take more than 10 years to develop a single medication, and only 1 in 10,000 ever make it to market. But what if AI could...
Patient's tests come back. You can immediately discover.
Sports belongs to young men, no matter what game is being played or where. Except, it seems, at Augusta National. Old fading champions always seem to turn back the clock. The course values knowledge and fear over youth and skill. And so the men who've suffered here longest know something about the course and about life that the young and the cocky will have to learn on their own.
We'll take a look at the leaderboard here as we move through the second round. And you could also put the world golf rankings up here because it is ripe with talented players. But Patrick Reed, first 9 card that is brilliant, 5 under par. But there's a little bit of everything out here. Experience certainly does play a role. To 10.
Patrick Reed now, what can he do on the second side? After lighting up the first 9, 31 over to 11.
Tommy Fleetwood just had a pep Jim from a similar line, so Woods does know what it does as it starts to slow down. Should turn hard right. It was a good effort. Far from finished. Back to 10.
Stenson.
Well, the awkward thing is there's a tiny little ridge, a soft ridge going across the green. Jams it into the edge. It doesn't release. He's now got the same downhill chip shot.
And now Hoffman back on 10T.
When you're a natural fader of the ball, you go with a 3-wood because it's a little easier to turn it over without any fears of overcooking it.
Patrons can't even count how many deep there. And Leishman's second shot, if there's a safe place to putt from, it is from the front, slightly uphill. The amount of turn from short range.
Back at 10, Stenson playing his fourth.
Those little shadows on the edge of the green, just pop it into those. There you go. And that was a good try for a 4. That'll be a 5. Off of, that'll be annoying because that was only a 9-iron. Sorry, a 9 or 8 iron pulled left. Ah, that's how you finish them off. from afar, leaning.
I'm not sure. I know that it was just inches away, but
it's a Swedish move.
Gotta be so careful. And speaking of that, 11.
Frank, the hardest thing is these players will say, I did the absolute best I could, and I've still got this from my par. It's a mind bender, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. As great as that second shot was, still have 6 feet left.
But the putt was a great putt. But you know, then it wears on you, especially if you're close to the cut line.
Just a tap in for Leishman. Stay at 5 under. Saved the par at 11 today. He's playing this as hard as ever. Yes, the next hole's not that easy either today. There's some great walks at Augusta National, but none better than 11 to 12. People wait there all day.
Yeah, they put their chairs in position at 7:45 this morning, Frank.
And a little extra for a 4-time champion. But right now, Reed, that's the one at the top.
Difficult is why there are footprints on the moon. Difficult decoded the human genome. If the road is easy, you're going the wrong way. Difficult challenges limits, reveals potential. No matter how daunting the struggle, difficult is worth it. You know what we make. Difficult makes us who we are.
1 second. Barely enough time for this man to take a bite of turkey. But for cybercriminals, it's plenty of time to launch thousands of attacks. Luckily, security analysts and Watson are on his side, spotting threats faster and protecting his data with the most securely encrypted mainframe in the world. It's a smart way to eat lunch in peace. Sweet, oblivious peace.
Yeah, the second round of the Masters. You can almost remember the years. Now the guinea pig on 12. Mark Leishman, 9-9. And that's a sigh of relief today. So it's 156 yards. They only have 5 yards to play with.
Tiger kind of forgot to release it yesterday, Frank, didn't he? And hit it a little fat.
Yeah, it was Waterbound was lucky to make, well, not lucky, made a good putt for 4. The clever thing here, Nick, they have 2 tee boxes, the lower one on the left and this one on the right. When they put the flag more to the right, almost forces you to go on the longer carry.
Yes, plus you know if you miss it right, it could kick and go into the water rather than having the bunker to save you. So again, you've got to make a decision. You're going to go left or right of the flag. You pick your yardage and you better stick to that game plan. Does that make it late again?
Sure out. 2 days in a row.
That's his arm body, faster than your arms. You block it. That will really hurt him. I mean, scorecard wise and confidence wise.
Even the mighty struggle here. To 10.
Hoffman.
Oops. That's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? Hit it, I think, a little bit off the downslope.
Back at 18. What a good putt. Mid-amateur champion Matt Parziale.
A Brockton, Massachusetts firefighter.
He won the Mid-Am Championship at Capital City Club in Atlanta last October. His dad Vic caddying for him here. Doug Gim, the University of Texas golfer, is going to make the cut. Doug, of course, yesterday, speaking of having a father on the bag, his father Jeff was along with son Doug, enjoying this experience. And of course, again, yesterday made the eagle at the 18th. So we'll go back out to the 10th.
Oh, no, please. What is going on at 10? It's into the breeze. They've got this new hole location. It's, oh, that is stymie. No backswing. Absolutely. Well, we went backwards, upside down, play something. Not the place to be trying there. A trick shot. He needs a. It's not. Please. He needs one of those Wesley Bryan trick shots, doesn't he? Whack it into the tree. Do a Jimenez. Hit it into the tree and pop it back. I don't think you tried that. Well, Patrick Reed's been saying every shot fits his eye perfectly, and this does as well. Nice draw, middle of the green. Keep the tempo. He loses enthusiasm with that one, or bailed out poorly on that one.
Those were 3 approach shots they'd all like to have back.
Lost their confidence and commitment to that.
2-11.
Familiar waggle of Stenson. Chokes the life out of the driver. And it's a machine-like swing. No problems there. It resonates through the trees. Have a little chat on the way down. Now, so Woods is hitting it in the water. 3 options: could replay the tee shot, could go to the drop zone, or with a ball last across the hazard, he can take it back in the line. And he just knew it right there. Slightly shorter yardage, and the bank, more often than not, will just drag that ball back.
It's not trusting how his arms and wrists unwind.
Perhaps in two minds. Didn't even want to see that one go down. The steepness of that bank, Nick.
Let's have a look at this bank. This was Fred Couples hit his famous shot there that stayed on the bank as we pull round. Flags over to the right. There's the angle, the bunker for safety if necessary. Jack Nicklaus always said I aimed over the bunker and put it into that middle section of the green. I played for the fat of the green, and that might be the shot to play this weekend.
Nicklaus said it was the hardest short hole he ever played. So Leishman cozies that one up for a 3, and relative to the field, that is a gain. Pass through 10, 11, and 12. That's good work. 10 is where we go.
We've got Reed in the right greenside bunker. Our leader by 3.
Yeah, plenty of room, and he's a good bunker player. Just how slow you've got to swing your bunker shots here at times. And that little bit of zip at the bottom, very good. Keep the body calm. It's moving, but you just got to find that calmness here at the Masters.
This was earlier Hoffman playing his 3rd.
Oh, brilliant as well.
Yes, it is.
Jam it into the hill.
He's going to love the 2 par saves at 9 and 10.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
13.
Hideki Matsuyama hit the green in 2, and that is a 4. So much expected of him, still looking for his first major. Back to 12.
And Woods will drop to 5 over. And currently, that is the cut line.
I wasn't expecting to be struggling this much with the short irons, Frank, to be honest.
Yeah, that had been the best part of his game since the comeback.
Back at 10, Hadwin.
Okay, but can he lean far enough to get a little bit of recoil chip?
That is so
well,
good.
There you go.
His backswing is so restricted, so he just stubbed it and played it.
I remember with all my mates, we used to throw a golf ball in the bush and go in there and find it and learn those shots. That's the only way you can practice them.
Yeah, that one to perfection. Dustin Johnson with one of those big moves today. 68, matching John Rahm with the best score has been completed so far. There are 15 rounds either complete or on the golf course that are under par today. That's after we had 20 rounds yesterday in red figures. Matsuyama moving up. Jimmy Walker shot 71. He's in. He was out early. Jason Day a couple under. Aotong Lee shot 76. Fred Couples is going to make another cut here. And we will be featuring his journey to the green jacket on Sunday before our live final round show. And I know he walked away away with a little disappointment. He tripled down at 11, but bounced back with birdies at 12 and 13. And he's played almost no golf this year, just a tournament in early January in Hawaii. So it's a tremendous accomplishment by Fred this week to make another cut. In fact, those at +2 at the moment, tied for 30th. +5, that right at the moment is good enough to make the weekend. We are going to again have an amateur in the Butler cabin as Reed surrenders a stroke. As Doug Gim will be in for the weekend. So that's his second bogey of the day. Remember, he had 6 birdies and a bogey on the front. To 11.
Well, Bubba Watson has to try and hit some sort of low hook and avoid the pond.
It better be a snap hook, Frank.
Oh,
and it is. That is incredible. That's a 50-yard hook
with water and problems, and
he got it inside 20 feet.
No,
I could see that one. Let's watch this again. Look where the pond is.
I mean, if this doesn't hook 20 yards, 30 yards, it's still on the pond.
Of course, you can't help but think about the shot he hit in the playoff at 10, where he had that kind of action on it to beat Louis Oosthuizen.
Wow, how far has Henrik hit it down number 11?
Well, it just says 68 yards left. Adam Hadwin did tap in for his part to remain at 3 under, back at 10.
Just aim on that right hand of the 3 trees for safety.
That's fine there, though.
Got killed in the air.
Charlie Hoffman also tapped in, back at 10 for his part. Well, Jim Nance was just referencing that shot Bubba Watson hit when he won his first Masters back at 10. And so if you think the one at 11 was special, somehow there was a gap here at 10 with everything on the line.
See, a right-handed player wouldn't have been able to play that shot, Frank. We wouldn't have been able to slice it like that.
Well, probably for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
He often says he can't see straight lines. I'm going to say this one's even better though, Nick.
Well, this is double the hook.
Yeah.
Not quite the intensity of in the playoff, but
well, there's no water at 10.
No, it's. Well, he's just trying to win a green jacket there, Frank.
Oh, true.
You know, one chance.
What are you trying to say? There's something on that?
just a one chance do or die pressure.
That has to be shot of the day. I'm picking it already. 13.
And the tee shot for Mark Leishman, likes to fade it. Actually made the attempt to turn that over. That new tracer technology. Barely missed the fairway. Been a tough fairway to hit today. Less than 50% of the players hitting it to 12.
I'll see if something good can happen for a defending champion. The score right now is irrelevant. All that was done on one hole yesterday. Oh. And that is buried. Oh. The hits keep coming. 13.
Tiger. Even higher than Mark Leishman's was. Wind has been pushing the golf balls up into the area at the corner of the dogleg into the pine straw, and it looks like it's gotten another one. Back to 11.
A little practice swing for Charlie. flight fairly low, should he choose to. If you can get it at the scoreboard, you can get the chase another 20 or 30 yards. 40 maybe. Well done. Just has to use his go-to shot, aim at the scoreboard, let it turn.
Yeah, a tiny bit of right to left breeze, and the fairway kicks a little left to centre. So he has to be careful he doesn't overdraw one. You can tell by the twirl he didn't. It's perfect.
Slightly flatter lie down the left side. Now up ahead, Stenson. Easy as that. And 4 under. Lofted club. And right about there, he knew had a chance. A big Swede. 2 years removed from his Open Championship win. To 14.
Center of the fairway. Doesn't like it. He's hoping to get a lot closer than that. He's at level, back to 11.
After that miraculous approach shot. Bubba Watson. Last part's quick. It is so.
I was thinking, Frank, Bubba must put Ted Scott, his caddy, through the ringer at times when he says, "I'm going for it," and you're looking at that, you got to think, "Okay, boss."
Ted says he enjoys playing golf more, trying to play the same way.
Yeah.
Jose Maria, the 18th. Just for par. Well, I don't anticipate the cut's going to slide one more stroke at 6. It appears 5's going to be the number, but the two-time champion, Jose Maria, Olafable. The great memories around here, 94 and 99. Let's go to 11.
It's a good 4 for Bubba Watson. Champion in 2012, 2014. Already 2 wins this season. Now, we saw the tee shot at 12. This was a little earlier. Plugged. Water on the other side. Really couldn't do much more. Even played directly at the bunker on the other side. Should have come out a little hot.
It's a little short, should kick down this way, right? Or no? Yeah. I actually like this inside the right edge. Like if this ends right edge of the bunker, it's perfect. It's flatter there. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't like messing with that hill at all. Just in case? Just in case. Okay. Okay. All right.
Well, they'll line right edge of the green. confidence in this fickle breeze.
Golly, Adam.
It's never going to go left.
It was a little short, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the nerves took over there on the backswing.
And that is a fast pitch.
That's the one that, how can you get it onto the green from there?
I've seen a few go in the water as we go to the 12th. While they wait, up ahead to 13.
Mark Leishman with his second hook lie cut hole location. Not a terrible miss. Back to 11.
Well, Stenson's still waiting at the 12th because that breeze just flipped from into to left to right. We'll have the same predicament.
Left. Why are you drifting the other way?
That's a really good shot. Getting better all the time. Two-shot lead safely on the 11th.
That is actually a good call, Frank. It has changed slightly. Well, it did, and now it's come back to its original at 18 here.
And he's sensing the same thing, that because that flag is now almost stopped blowing at all.
It should be a little. It's going to be into him left to right.
Well, he's going to wait, so we'll go to Charlie Hoffman. Also down the right side. Another good one. Just to find this 11th green today, some task. Yeah, Stenson finally set. At the 12th. That flew everything.
That pitched up the bank, up in the azaleas.
Lucky to get back in that bunker. He never set there. Breeze was into, then left to right, then back into. 13.
Second shot of Tiger Woods, 176 yards. What breeze there is helping the players. Very smart play. That ball should filter down off the slope some. He will have that for an eagle 3. Well, as we near the end of our second day of coverage, Patrick Reed playing a phenomenal round of golf. 2-shot lead over Mark Leishman and Charlie Hoffman.
For real-time scoring, live video, news, and more, visit masters.com.
Fearless is a wild animal, crazy enough to believe it can change the world. Fearless is resilient enough to suffer the slings and arrows and come out stronger. Fearless reads the rules, understands the limitations, listens to the naysayers, and then goes ahead and does it anyway. You know what we make. Fearless makes us who we are.
AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence covering virtually every part of your retail business, so that if your customer needs shoes and he's got wide feet, And with edge-to-edge intelligence, you've got near real-time inventory updates. And he'll find the same shoes in your store that he found online. He'll be one happy, very forgetful, wide-footed customer. AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence. It can do so much for your business, the list goes on and on. That's the power of and. And if your customer also forgets socks, and you could say...
Matsuyama at the 14th. Has to stay at even. No worse than 11th here at the Masters over the last 3 years. 12th a year ago, overcoming an opening round 76. Closed with 67. Started with 73 yesterday.
And Bubba Watson, he's worked over that bridge a couple of times now as Masters champion. And this is such a unique part. You go over the Ben Hogan Bridge, dedicated in 1958. One of the most famous Texan golfers, actually one of the greatest of all time. Once you play 12, tee off 13. It's almost a twin bridge over there for the great Byron Nelson. Texans have done well here. Quite as part of the golf course for the players themselves. It's a chance to collect your thoughts. But really, it's a tribute to two Texans who grew up together, born in the same year. Now back to the 11th from way right, and if this lands on the green, it will just scoot into the water. So he's got to play some sort of bump and run.
To be honest, it's so severe that you might even contemplate just chipping it down and hope you finish a yard short and then put it down and take your 5, because well, he's going with the old metal, lofted metal.
And the hard thing about that, the grass almost stands up, so it's going to scrub a lot of speed off it. He tries to keep this on the ground. This is interesting. I mean, if you play a wedge, you could take 2/3 of that out, wedge or a sand iron.
But I think it's a smart move. If you miss-hit the wedge, and when you can leave it 5 yards in front of you, you hit it a little skinny, and then you're off into the water. So maybe he's comfortable. This gives him the options. He feels he can just... But you're right, it's so sticky. But yeah, didn't quite get... You can't smash it, can you? Just in case.
I mean, it might look silly there, but if that just traveled one more yard, it would have ran all the way down to the hole. Because the next 25 feet is straight downhill. Now, Stenson was bunkered at 12. Here he is. Chipped in on the last. I need the putter to get him out of trouble here. 13.
Mark Leishman electing to go with the putter. It is slower than you think and goes further right than you would think. Under par on his round today. Just a couple back. Back to 11.
Now Charlie Hoffman. I've seen this putt already. You know it's fast and you know it breaks right. Did you know it breaks that far right? Woo. There's nothing easy out here today.
And now Tiger, the putt for eagle. Whole location that back in 2005 in the first round, he actually putted the ball into the hazard. Further into the green, a little further higher, but he putted the ball into the hazard. See,
he was trying for 7. Now, not that far away is the 12th, Stenson. Tee shot really didn't deserve 3, but he's going to have to work for 4. Came into the hole 4 under, going to drop at least 1. Mind you, Reed has lengthy putt at 11. And that's where we'll go, but Adam Hadwin. Nick, really have to applaud the fact that you realise how difficult this hole is. Just take your 5 if you can.
Well, there's no real bailout. This is what's so great about Augusta National. You bail out, and because you think that's, well, you've made one shot easy, but that will not make the chip easier. You then get a brutally difficult chip shot, where you actually fear hitting the green or keeping it on the green. That is part of its. I mean, it's severity and its fear factor it has.
Yeah, 11 has shown no mercy. Yeah, Reed's putt at least 8 feet past. And then you've got to reset. He tickled the first one down the hill. This one has to be hit a little firmer going the other direction. It's easy sometimes to pull it when you make that adjustment. 13.
Leishman for a 4 could change the leaderboard significantly with Reed in trouble. He matches the 4 he made yesterday in the opening round. Now 6 under. What a round Justin Johnson played at 68 strokes. Back to 11.
So it was 6 birdies through the front 9 for Reed, but bogeyed 10. Doesn't want to give another away here. Yeah, well done. Such a good second shot. Maybe got a little greedy on that putt. On top. Very tough Friday here. Dustin Johnson in the clubhouse 68. That's the best score out there. It's not getting any easier. Hadwin for 5. Yeah, worked hard for it. Gritty competitor. Stenson to finish up at 12. He'll drop back to 3 under. 14.
Sweeping dog leg right to left. Leishman.
It's a tough tee shot for a natural fade of the ball. There's a fairway slope from left to right where you're trying to turn it from right to left.
Settles in the second cut. 11.
Not much left for Charlie. 2.5 feet. He's doubled around the lead here more than once. So maybe a little comfortable seeing his name on the leaderboard.
And now Tiger back at 14. Birdied this hole yesterday. Nice drive. Let's take a look at Chinese Fur, the 440-yard par 4 nestled between two of the most famous par 5s in the game. It starts the journey home after Amen Corner. Sweeping around those Georgia pines. Fairway slopes gently left to right. The approach shot, as is the case throughout Augusta National, into the largest green on the course, one with small landing areas. And look at how the 14th has played so far this week. 4th toughest hole yesterday, 7th toughest overall. Surrendered just 15 birdies to 18.
Matthew Fitzpatrick, and that was needed.
Yeah, nifty up and down from the left of the green, using the backstop to swing it round.
Playing with Bryson DeChambeau and Bert Wiesberger, both of whom will also be in the field for the weekend as we go to 13.
And Hendrik Stenson. Very comfortable hitting a high draw. It fits here beautifully. No need for him to hit driver. He may need to draw a little bit more than that. We've seen some heroics from up there, Nick, and also some disasters over the years.
Well, I'm amazed how many players do play that from the pine needles, because my feet never stay still.
Back to 12.
And the flag is now a little still at 12. Charlie Hoffman normally likes to move the ball right to left. That's his natural shot shape.
Oh, Charlie.
Another one out.
Uh-oh.
Kind of got the follow through. Wow.
Almost a look of embarrassment.
Cover 166.
Got to commit to that follow through, Frank, haven't you?
From the second cut, 219 yards. Hideki Matsuyama. 15th, the most difficult par 5 on the golf course today, because that far left hole location gets players to bail right, and then that putt down the slope is ridiculously difficult. Speaking of ridiculously difficult, Frank.
Yeah, it's the 12th, and you're right, Nick. You got to commit to something, whether you're playing front yardage or back. 9 on for Reed. It looks a long way over the back, just 5 or 6 yards too long. So Reed 7 under, but in trouble. So is the lead. Mark Leishman still going along strongly. Charlie Hoffman wet at the 12th.
Today, there are more sensors on our planet than people. We're putting AI into everything, and everything into the cloud. It's all so smart. But how do you work with it? Ask this farmer. He's using satellite data to help increase crop yields. That's smart for the food we eat. At this port, supply chains are becoming more transparent with blockchain. That's smart for millions of shipments. In this lab, researchers are working with Watson to help them find new treatments. That's smart for medicine. At this bank, the world's most encrypted mainframe is helping prevent cybercrime. That's smart for everyone. And in Africa, IoT sensors and the IBM cloud are protecting endangered animals. That's smart for rhinos. Yeah, rhinos. Because smart only really matters when we put it to work. Not just for a few of us, but for all of us. Let's put smart to work.
Whatever you decide the wind is, you just commit to it and hope you guess right.
You go off of what forecast says and not what you're feeling, and you have to trust it. And sometimes you guess right and sometimes you guess wrong.
I think you take a little bit of the feeling on the tee, but then you got to look at the compass on what's forecasted, because once it gets above the trees, whatever it hits right there actually affects it.
Regardless of what the flag's doing on 11, regardless of what the flag's doing on 12, you're probably going to be wrong at some point. I've tried to jot down and monitor consistencies, and I cannot find one.
There's a look at the most beautiful but most frightening par 3 in the world. At least that's how it's been described. Welcome inside the Butler cabin with Curtis Strange, Sky Van Pelt. You're the last guy to make a 1 there in competition, so it can be...
I pushed it.
Mistake, huh?
Yes.
Why'd you throw it in the water?
I don't know. I was trying to show some personality, but I will say this. 12 is the most frightening 140 to 155 hole you will ever play. The size of the green, the intimidation, and when the greens get so firm and fast like they are right now, in a little bit of wind, it just makes it so exacting, and the greens play so much smaller.
How big's the target right now?
Well, the target in the right center of the green where the flag is now is the biggest area on the green.
But how much of it's usable, so to speak?
It's fairly flat back up in there, but it just has to be so exacting. And then you have the water short. You know, if you hit it a little bit long, as we just saw a moment ago, it's just, you got to be spot on, as they say.
To 14.
Tiger from 139 back of the green, and that will drift a couple of feet. Tiger will have a look at birdie. This was a few moments ago. Mark Leishman. This from 149. And that goes just a touch long, and now he's going to have a huge breaking putt right to left. Here on the largest green in the course, the 14th. Back to 12.
Now the third shot for Charlie Hoffman. Only once has he ever made a double bogey here. 12 have been kind up until today. 13.
For Eagle at the 13th, the reigning PGA champion Justin Thomas. Putt actually goes a little to the right in the middle, that flattens out. That close. But that will get him back under par for the tournament. Six behind the leader, Patrick Reed. But Reed in trouble. A hole back. Up to 18.
It's Mark O'Meara, who's made some overtures that this could be his last Masters as a competitor. This on the 20-year anniversary of his victory.
He held the putt going the other way to win from basically where the hole is to almost just a yard or two inside where he's standing.
If it is his last, I'd like to see it go in. Then again, I'd prefer to see him come back. Of course, later that year of '98, he went on and won the Open Championship. Take 2 of the majors that season.
He attributed so much of that because he played practice rounds with Tiger, because Tiger hit all the par 5s in 2, and he said, I had to find a way to make 4s to halve him. And that's led to 2 majors. Unbelievable in 1998.
Back to 12.
And Patrick Reed just asked Charlie Hoffman to pick his ball up, because Could have been in the line of this bunker shot. It was a wise decision. Good shot. Maybe sneak out of here with a 3. Amazing. 30 years ago, Curtis Strange, the last one to make that hole-in-one here on the second round. It was with a 7-iron. 14.
Mark Leishman. This is going to break 20 feet right to left.
That one, if you were going to try and get it close, you needed to almost chip it off the green, get a little bit of spin. But that's, as we were saying earlier, you know, you bail out on a particular shot and you pay the price on the next shot. That's the brilliance of this design here. Let's go back to 12.
And Peter, speaking of paying the price, this little hole here today, Golden Bell, only 4 birdies, already 6 double bogeys. Charlie Hoffman does not want it to be 7. Here's
Tiger for birdie.
He's probably had this putt a few times before, Bill.
Oh,
he knew it. He had the read.
I would have given him a little bit of breathing room. Projected cut +5, Tiger +4. Sip of the cap. Currently 53 players. 5 over better.
After laying up, Henrik Stenson with his third. Really have not seen any spectacular shots after layups today. And there's another. Trying to use the slope, but it just doesn't give it up. Tough to get an angle with that layup. Back to 12.
Now Reed. The odd thing is here, you saw Hoffman's putt didn't break at all to the right. That's what they generally tend to do. Perhaps inside the left edge. That is one red hot putter. 16-1 putts. Through just over a round and a half. Does it break right or not? Oof. Yeah, just right a 3 down. Let's see, next hole should suit his draw. You never know. Now Hoffman, tee shot in the water. This for 5. Back to even for the day. But still very much in the thick of things. At 69 yesterday. That was a good round. 14.
Leishman has to be careful here. Oh. Expected it to move just left and seemed to go straight. So first bogey of the day for the 34-year-old Aussie. Now 2 shots back. 3 under for his second round. 18.
And just a moment ago, finishing up 61-year-old Mark O'Meara, World Golf Hall of Famer, 16 tour wins, 5 of them coming at Pebble Beach, and 2 majors. The first, again, being here in '98 when Tiger, in fact, was the one to present the green jacket as the '97 champion.
At 15. At 15, Matsuyama, 18 feet for his birdie. That is one heck of a two-putt. And into red figures. Back to the tee at 13.
And Patrick Reed. Shot would fit his eye really well. That's going to be up in the area with the trees and the pine straw. And decisions to make. Less than half of the people who have played that tee shot have found the fairway today. Just enough wind. Straighten out the balls, trying to turn it around the corner. Up to 16.
See the breeze coming from off the tee toward the hole. Matsuyama, Pat Desire, and Paul Casey, the grouping on the 16th tee. Matsuyama by far the best scorer of this threesome. 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament.
A little slightly down right to left, Fern, as you said, which actually helps them because if they're trying to get it on the upper shelf, it runs all the way down the right-hand side. So if you want to be really bold and go, you know, 3 or 4 yards right to that flag max, and you could hold it against the breeze to try and keep it on that shelf.
8 iron.
Right, baby.
And he missed it.
Yeah, it's not going to hold.
Yeah. It's got to land at the flag or certainly a yard or two to the right of it.
Has not concluded its journey yet. Well, we have seen that putt made today. Dustin Johnson.
10. There's no 9.
Next up, Paul Casey. He's right on the cut line at +5. That's a 9 iron. Wonderful. See Pat Desire playing in his first Masters. And we go to 13.
Henrik Stenson for birdie. Like so many all day long, that putt you think is going to go to the left, and it goes exactly opposite. He'll remain 3 under, 4 back. This was just a little earlier. Bubba took a long time trying to figure out what this putt was going to do. Much longer than normal. Nick, it's been a baffler all day. Stays out right, and it's slower than you think.
I'm amazed because, yeah, I'd find that one very difficult to understand.
Tiger on the tee, asking for it to cut just a little bit. And he will have tree trouble. at least in terms of where the hole is located today. Let's go up to 18 green.
And this is VJ trying to finish. With a par. And in at +1, which is tied for 22nd. 34-time tour winner, another Hall of Famer, and a champion here in 2000. That's up on the hillside on the pine straw at 13 for Reed.
So decisions to make, which shot to hit, what yardage to leave yourself, and what angle you may have. Up on the green, Bubba Watson with what would remain for his 4. Made a par here yesterday. And one better today. Now 4 back. Opened with 73, 4 under on his round today. To 14.
Reigning PGA champion. Sent his approach shot long. That's tracking. Oh, yes. Back-to-back birdies for Justin, and he's at 2 under. 15.
On the tee, setting up a little bit left to try and perhaps cut the ball, Mark Leishman. And he started it left, and that probably will not cut back enough. And that will be almost certainly a layup. There's Tiger. A little bit of weight on the tee. Seems to be in good spirits, although I know his game is not where he thought it would be at this point in the proceedings. Patrick Reed, our leader.
Curious is an unreachable destination. It has no comfort zone. It rests on no laurels. Curious perpetually scratches at doors, picks at locks. Curious never stops, because to Curious, good enough never is. You know what we think. Curious makes us who we are.
It can power your apps with public services without starting from scratch.
Trees. It really is one of those rare and fleeting moments of perfection. The kind where you remember how you felt long after you've forgotten exactly what you saw to make you feel that way.
And back at the 13th, Patrick Reed. Take what the golf course gives you. Don't be a hero. Get the ball back in play, and he's done exactly that. He play that third off a downslope with the grain going into him. Short hole location. Most have been beyond from there. To 14.
Stenson. I'm not sure the reaction is represented in the result. 16.
And here's Matsuyama. Quite some distance. And he's still got some distance. latter stages of the second round on this pleasant Friday in Augusta. Patrick Reed with a 2-shot lead.
Laying up. It's taking the safer shot. It's not the exciting choice. No one fist pumps after laying up. It's tempting to go for it because you've made it so many times before. But what if you don't? Sometimes it's just not worth the risk. Here, you always lay up. Please don't drive distracted. It can wait.
First is an act of pure alchemy, the creation of something from nothing. First stands on no shoulders, it follows no footsteps. To first, the view ahead is wide open. The only thing that first chases is possibility. You know what we make. First makes us who we are.
Paul Casey currently at 5 over. This for birdie. You see how gently he has to hit that putt. And it slides right. So he remains +5. We go to 13.
Charlie Hoffman's third birdie, both par 5s earlier on the golf course today. That's been a putt we've seen a lot here today. So risky to try to be so perfect. Patrick Reed will be next. Adam Hadwin will have a putt for eagle. A location that wasn't used last year. Yet another. He'll get a teach though. Up to 16.
Matsuyama to save par. Well done. He remains at 1 under. 218.
Hoppy Bonrock for birdie to move inside the number.
What a shot he hit in here, too.
Coming back from 79.
9 better today. Francesco Molinari in that group is also going to make the cut. Pat Perez will not. As we go to 14.
And we have a better understanding of Henrik's reaction. He's still got about 180 yards left. About 166 or so off the tee. Hole location to the right, just over that false front. Anything short will go back down into the fairway.
Yeah, it's 13 paces to get over the false front. Flags on 16. And smart play.
And he'll have a look at birdie from there. Open with 69. Level for his second round. 4 behind at -3. 15.
Mark Leishman set to play, and it doesn't look like he's going to lay up. He's going to have to turn this to about 30 or 40 yards.
Wow, it's a little bold, isn't it, Peter?
Bold it may be, but this is going to be spectacular. Easily the shot of the day at 15 by Mark Leishman. Wow, let's go to 13.
And the ball on the way, Adam Hadwin for eagle. Coming off back-to-back bogeys. And that'll be a much-needed 4. Get him back to 2 under for the tournament. 1 over on the day. To go. Very much a part of what will be happening this weekend. Patrick Reed was not part of the weekend here a year ago. Charlie Hoffman certainly was. Nick, how much did you pay attention to other players when they did have a putt that you might be able to learn a little something from?
Oh, I did. I actually watched the stroke, you know, the tempo of the stroke, and kind of guessed, you know, the velocity they've struck the ball. I mean, yeah, you glean as much as you can, and sometimes you really take notice of the read. I mean, a professional's going to hit a good quality putt. So you've got to believe he hit it square, and what the golf ball does is truthful.
And that's been the truth all day long today. Just refuses to roll over left to 14.
And Bubba just hammered his drive. 113 remaining, and hates it. And it'll be back to where Stenson ended up. Bubba's at 3 under, 13.
And that's a 5 for Charlie Hoffman.
You don't know. It gets one big hop off the back of the green.
Down. Down. Asking for it to get down. Now this could catch the slope. No, it's going to run over the green. That's okay there, though. That's a very makeable chip or even putt from that position. Again, the 15th, the most difficult par 5 on the golf course today. Mark Leishman didn't make it look that hard. What a terrific shot in there. Now back on the tee, Justin Thomas. That's a good hard cut. That's going to really scoot down there. So he'll certainly be inside of 200 yards for his second. Back to 13.
Patrick Reed for what will be the 18th one putt for him in this tournament. See what kind of student he is. And that's it. Give him an A. A tip of the cap to Charlie Hoffman for the read, too, I would have to think. That ups Patrick Reed's lead to 3 again. Mark Leishman, though, with an eagle putt upcoming at the 15th.
Just another day on the farm. Or is it? This farmer's morning starts in outer space, where satellites feed infrared images of his land into a system built with AI. He uses Watson to analyze his data with millions of weather forecasts from the cloud and IoT sensors down here for precise monitoring of irrigation. It's a smart way to help increase yields, all before the rest of us get out of bed.
AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence covering virtually every part of your manufacturing business. And so this won't happen because you've made sure this sensor and this machine are integrated. And she can talk to him. And yes, attaboy, some people assign genders to machines. And you can be sure you won't have any problems, except for the daily theft of your Danish. Not cool! AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence. It can do so much for your business, the list goes on and on. That's the power of and. And this shipment will be delivered.
On the tee at the 14th, Patrick Reed, the lead is 3. Shapes that beautifully around those Georgia pines. Up ahead, here's Bubba for birdie. Opened with 73, 4 under for his second round. Just one bogey on the card. That was at 4. Birdies at 2, 3, 6, 8, and 13. Back on the tee once again. Here's Charlie. Just has such an easy way about him around here. Love to put together 4 rounds. Back to Stenson now. His birdie try. Got a good look at Bubba's putt. Oh, yes. Well done. So frustration after his tee shot. He's able to hit a nice second shot and makes birdie at 14 to go to 4 under. Currently tied for 3rd. Celebrated a birthday yesterday. Ahead to 15.
Everybody enjoying the sun in the late afternoon here in Augusta. Tiger just over the green, has a putter. Make it 35, 36 feet. Just needs to get it up on the green with maybe a foot of pace when it hits the green, and that'll get it all the way down to the hole. The faster a putt is, the longer it takes to get to the hole. Watch how long this one's going to take. That's well judged. Well judged. So after going 0 for 6 on par 5s, he'll have that for back-to-back birdies on par 5s. And now Mark Leishman, 6 feet for eagle. Easily the best shot of the day. And this to be one back of our leader, Patrick Reed. Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
A bit of crystal on the line here. Jordan Spieth had a great read from the other side, didn't he, Peter? He hit it his right edge, so this must be hair outside left edge for Leishman.
Mark Leishman plays 15 in 3 strokes. Sensational.
You remember that second shot?
I tell you what, that could be the shot of the tournament for him.
You never know. It was definitely the bravest commitment of the tournament so far.
Tommy Fleetwood had it almost where Hideki Matsuyama was, but a little bit clearer from the edge of the green. Putted down to here, has this for birdie. Tiger taking a glance over to the 16th green. This is what he's looking at. Martin Keimer waits for the applause. Now Tiger. Birdie, birdie, eagle for this group at 15. And Tiger gets back to +3. With the weather forecasted over the weekend, I'll tell you right now, anybody who makes the cut has a chance to win. There's no telling what could happen out here. Back to 14.
Patrick Reed, 132. Eyes it. Oh! Wow. And a tap-in birdie to go to 9 under. 6 under for the day. Over to 16.
And the flag limp, indicating the absence of wind here at 16. Bull playing at 170 today. And the whole location. What a putting exhibition Patrick Reed has given us today. Dustin Johnson in the clubhouse with a round of 68. And Leishman will lead off after that brilliant second shot at 15.
Yeah, we have an amazing game, Vern. He's just swooped a hook to about 30 yards or more, and now he wants to try and play a 1-yard fade. Just send it just down the right-hand side of that flag and hold it there against the breeze. Carry all the way to get across the tiny little ridge that comes in front of it.
Let's go to 15.
Well, Sergio Garcia, 216 yards. Trying to exact a little bit of revenge on the 15th hole. Takes dead aim, but that's going to go over the green and leave himself a really dangerous little pitch back up for the hole. But at least right now he's dry. He actually hit a 6-iron yesterday for his second shot that was within a yard of being a great shot. Ended up making a 13. Let's go to 16.
Leishman with the 9-iron. That putt will be tricky. Back to 15.
Justin Thomas, only 191. Might be able to take this high enough with this short of an iron. Well, he didn't even take on the flag. He played out to the right. Whew. And his short game skills will be tested now. To 14.
Charlie Hoffman going left. And this will come back down the slope and get better. And that's the more traditional way to play that whole location at 14. Charlie will have a look at birdie. Get into red figures for the day. 16.
Tiger Woods, 8 iron. Now it's +3. Leishman and Woods have hit their tee shots to 16th. Patrick Reed, 8 under par. Leishman 1 back.
Please visit drivechipandputt.com for more information or to register.
Stubborn is an incurable insomniac. It never takes no for an answer. To stubborn, impossible is just an opinion. The end is where stubborn begins and keeps on going until it's got nothing left. And then, stubborn finds another gear. You know what we make. Stubborn makes us who we are.
This scientist doesn't believe in luck. She believes in research. It can take more than 10 years to develop a single medication, and only 1 in 10,000 ever make it to market. But what if AI could find connections faster to help this researcher discover new treatments? That's why she's working with Watson. It's a smart way to find new hope, which really can't wait.
At the 14th, Charlie Hoffman for birdie. Oh, lost its speed just before the hole, otherwise online. Just likes the way Augusta National fits his eyes. Never failed to get to the weekend here. Never finished outside of the top 30, including a tie for 9th in 2015. Tie for 22nd last year. And off to a great start here in 2018. And now our leader after a brilliant approach here at 14.